Hey everybody, Sarah Grillo here, coming at you. It's Saturday night here in New York City, and I just put my children to bed, so I'm sorry for the informal nature of this video, but I just have a message I have to get out to everybody, and I didn't really feel like the whole hoopla. So, okay. I want to tell all of you that I think this is what many of you are doing wrong when you're seeking employment as an equity analyst, because I've heard on my channel from a lot of you that say, everybody messages me and they say, well, how do I become an equity analyst? I want to be a portfolio manager. And when I have these conversations and I engage with people, I find that I'm getting the same responses. And if you're saying these things, then watch out. And really, I want you to listen to what I'm about to say. So the problem is that a lot of people are saying that they want to be an equity analyst, get paid $80,000 to $100,000 a year, but when it really comes down to it, they're nowhere near where they should be in terms of having any of the skills, and it's because they haven't really been committed and they haven't taken action. So agree or disagree, the candidate that takes the most action is going to win. Well, you might disagree and say, well, it's not going to help if it's the wrong action, but I disagree with that. I think that even if you take the wrong action, if you're intelligent about it, then eventually it's going to lead you to the right action, as long as you don't mess up that badly and get thrown in jail or something. I have said this before, and I really want to just emphasize this point. Action wins. Whoever takes the most action wins. Commit and go all in, and then if it doesn't work, then at least you know it didn't work and you know to try something else. But if you sit there and you want to think about it and have a pipe dream, then you're going to be in the same camp with everybody else. And trust me, there are hundreds of thousands of people that are sitting there saying, I really want to be an equity analyst, and have really nothing to back it up. And that's where I would put a lot of people out there, is having nothing to back it up. So for example, if you go to the website Seeking Alpha, this is a free website. You don't need to pay money to join Seeking Alpha. And you can read about market news and stock ideas, market outlooks, investment strategy, and even ETFs and mutual funds. So anybody who's going for any kind of portfolio management job should absolutely be on this website like every single day. Whether or not you agree with these views, you should be here every single day, because this is what the analysts are saying. This is what the people, I will actually put the URL of this website below. This is what the people who are going for these jobs that you're competing with are saying. So, and I said this in my last video, you really have to know what the competition is doing. And if you want to know what the competition is doing and saying, then go to this website, okay? But just also, you have to go to this website and websites like this because you have to learn how an analyst thinks. You have to talk like an analyst talks. And while you might not agree with any of the views here, you can see what some of the concepts are that the analysts are expressing, and you can look at how they express themselves. So for example, they have these trending articles on this website. So imagine this, right? Imagine if I came to you, Sarah Grillo, and I want to be an equity analyst, and I say to you in the audience who's watching me right now, I'd like to manage your mother and father's money, their life savings. I would like you to give me their life savings to manage, and I would like you to pay me $100,000 to do this. What would you say? You would say, okay, well, what are your views on the stock market? And then what I'm astounded by is that people that are going for these portfolio management jobs, all the time, when I ask them that, they'll say, oh, well, I don't know. Oh, I'm bullish on one guy. He goes, I'm bullish on Brazil. And then had nothing to back it up from there. I asked him for his best stock idea, and he said, I'm a bull on Brazil. I'm investing in Brazil. Answer the question, what does that mean? The Brazilian stock index? Is there an ETF that tracks the Brazilian market? What's the ticker? What's the entry point? What are the trades that you could make instead of that one? What are your options? Why did you pick that ETF if so? What are the risks to your thesis? What price do you see this ETF being at in 12 months? Or questions like, so if I came to you and I said, I want to manage your parents' life savings, you would say, well, you would want to know, like, well, what do you think about interest rates? A lot of people don't know the yield curve. People going for these equity analyst jobs, they don't know what the short treasury rate is, what the long rate is. You know, what do you think about gold? What's your outlook on gold? Well, I don't know. What's the return on the S&P this year? I don't know. What's your favorite high dividend stock? What's your outlook on Exxon? What's your outlook on the Snapchat IPO? Are you long or short? I mean, these are all the things that you have to know. Don't expect somebody to just give you $100,000 because you look good or because you say, oh, well, I'm hardworking. Like, imagine if I came to you and I said, I want to manage money for your parents. And you said, well, what's your view on the oil market? And I said, oh, well, I don't know, but I'm really hardworking. That's why you should hire me. How hardworking can you be? You don't know something so basic. Would you hire a surgeon to do surgery on you and amputate a limb if you ask them, well, what's your view on what the recovery for me is going to be? And they said, oh, I don't know, but I'm hardworking. I'm passionate. There's the other thing people say, I'm passionate. Why should I hire you as an equity analyst? Why should I hire you to manage my mother and father's money? Oh, well, I'm really passionate. What if I said that to you? I'm really passionate about this. It doesn't make any sense. It's like so illogical. It's like sorry, it's really like dry here in New York because it's in my apartment because it's the winter still and the heat is on and it's like really, sorry everybody, but you see where I'm going with this? Yes, it's true. You may be hardworking. You may be more hardworking than anybody else. But how does that translate into benefits for me? You may be passionate. You may be more passionate than anybody else. But what does that mean in terms of what your performance is going to be compared to everybody else? And I'm not talking about whether or not you even have a portfolio. I'm talking about doing the things that you should be doing and just being prepared. And being prepared for one of these interviews, these are big engagements. Someone's paying you $100,000. That's a lot of money. Have you ever paid somebody $100,000 a year? Think about it, right? And if you talk to somebody who runs a business that constantly makes these kinds of hiring decisions, you gotta really look at who you're dealing with here. I mean, you're dealing with people who are on the level of like Mark Cuban, okay? You're dealing, like if you watch the show Shark Tank and you see what those people go through, that's really what you're looking at. And the reason is that you're talking about, you know, some big tickets here. You're talking about some big money. And so there's this kind of entitlement and this expectation that just because you have the CFA that you say you're hardworking, and you say you're passionate. Well, okay, fine. I'm a doctor. Let's say I'm a doctor and I have an MD. You know, if I don't know, if you're not convinced I'm going to get the right limb instead of the left limb, why would you hire me? You wouldn't, okay? Or, I mean, I'm a CFA charter holder. If I come to you and I say, I want to manage your mother's money, her last dollars that she's ever going to earn as a working person before entering retirement, that's a high degree of trust you're going to have with me. So if I just say, I'm a CFA charter holder, big deal. So isn't everybody else that I'm talking to? I'm really hardworking. Great. What's your view on the yield curve? Where's it going to be in 6 months? I mean, yeah, they might throw an occasional quirky question at you, like, what's your view of the Chinese real estate market in 20 years or something like that? Like, they might say something that, like, is just so bogus, or like, what? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people that just really come to this and they say they want to be equity analysts, but then they haven't done the homework. So I'm going to show this website too. It's going to be linked below. Check it out, and I strongly recommend that if you really want to get what you feel that you should deserve, that you step up to the plate and get some walk behind the talk. Going to websites like Seeking Alpha is going to do that. There are other options. Analyst Forum is another place where they talk about a lot of current market topics, but just following Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, local publications, lot more ideas where that came from. If you want to know, comment below. Thanks everybody for watching.